GQuuuuuuX. Gundam. GQuuuuuX. What does it
Let
stand
me pull
for?
up some stuff
Who knows?
for episode guide.
I also have made notes. Instead of just being like, what happened in that show? I have notes. Speaking of notes, here is the provided synopsis for Gundam GQuuuuuX. Amate Yuzahara, forgot that was her name, is a high school student living peacefully in a space colony, floating in outer space. When she meets a girl named Nian, Amate is drawn into a legal mobile suit dueling sport known as Clan Battle. Under the entry name Machu, she throws herself into fierce battle day after day, piloting the GQuuuuuuX. When an unidentified Gundam mobile suit pursued by both the Space Force and the police appears before her, along with the pilot, a boy named Shuji, now the world is about to enter a new era. Of all the synopsises, that is certainly one of them.
Yeah.
That does happen. Can
GQuuuuuuX,
confirm.
some stuff does happen. Some stuff doesn't happen. So GQuuuuuuX just ended. How did you feel about GQuuuuuuX kind of as a whole?
That
Slopper cinema, call it.
See, that's the thing. We did the joke when we were watching the last episode. As we were sitting there in the morning, obviously not recording because we were just watching TV show, and it was like slop or cinema, no country for old man. What's his face meme? Call it on the coin. And GQuuuuuuX is one of those ones where I feel like I flipped the coin, looked down at the table as it landed, you know, ding, 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 and then it landed on its side, and I go, huh, I don't know.
And then you just kind of like stand there awkwardly, grab your thing, and then you head out.
Yeah,
I guess you lived today.
slop or cinema, call it, and then it just like lands on the side and just like, so what do we do here? Oh, I guess it's your lucky day. Then you just leave, I guess.
I guess so. But yeah, so we watched the theatrical release of this. It was the first 3 episodes.
Yes, and we have a video on that, so we won't go too much into like the events of like what happens in the past of GQuuuuuuX within GQuuuuuX, because we already have a video on that, and it will be linked at the top now, or probably already before now,
Right now.
or at the end. It'll be somewhere. But either way, yeah, we already talked about all that. So when it comes to that, yeah, we did watch that in theaters, and then we watched the TV show. I'm kind of bummed. I guess my biggest bummer is that it's 12 episodes.
Yeah. There was that meme going around of, here's your pizza. This is what it's like to have a full course anime. Here's what it's like to have a half course anime, and it's half a pizza. And well, here's what it's like to have 12 episodes, and it's a quarter slice of pizza. And then it's GQuuuuuuX with 3/4 slices on top of each other because it's so dense. There's so much in it.
Yes.
If you're a fan of the original series and Zeta Gundam, there's gonna be like so many things to like spot and be like, oh my god, it's Glub Shido.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, he's piloting the Psycho Gundam. Glub Shido. There he is.
So as far as like quote unquote what I have in my notes, the real plot, because the synopsis is like she does the clan battle, smiley face, right? Like, yeah, kind of for a bit, but like most of it is not about that. Is so like the real sort of meat of the show happens. I guess it kind of happens. Is it in the start of clan battle? Where her and Shuji, are kind of like working together, and they're like, I guess there's a romance there, which I'm gonna be honest, the romance thing with Shuji just didn't like hit at all for anyone.
Yeah, I mean it's 12 episodes. There's only so much you can fit in there.
Yeah, 12 episodes, but
It's just kind of like the guy and act, just like you go with it.
yeah, it's like okay, they're all in a love triangle, I guess, which is technically more like a love corner, but whatever. Anyway,
Yeah.
during the Gundam
But
fights, I was gonna say the big sort of catalyst is when I guess Nian, the Uber delivery person, and friend, but when she gets in the Gundam, kind of is like that first like friction in the story where Mashi was like, "No, this is my thing," because her life is kind of just like student, you know. She's like, "I crave blood.
Yeah,
I need to kill. I need to kill," and the Gundam is
I
there
need
for
the
her.
Kira.
Yeah. And she's also like, "Oh, the Kira was me and Shuji's thing." You know, it's very like I know they're children, right? Like, I know they are literally children in the show, but I'm like, man, these people are being childish.
These actual children. What's
Yeah.
wrong with you? Go to school.
Yeah.
But yeah, it all happens in episode 5, which, hey, Return of the Black Tri-Stars. Guy and Ortega, they show up. They job for an episode, and yeah, that was cool. It was a cool cameo.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically,
It is
Nian.
really
Oh no, go ahead.
it is really cool though how the DOMs have like that integrated storytelling into the mech design. How the DOMs have both of the DOMs have an additional leg taken from the third of the Black Tri-Stars.
That is really cool.
It's such a cool touch. I love it.
I'll get more into like general like thoughts like at the end where it's like things I like, but
Yeah,
like definitely mech design up there. Moi.
cool.
But yeah, so like that's kind of like that first friction is like Nian getting in the Gundam, and Mash being a little jealous and petulant because she's a literal child. And then like the next big event is the Cassilia visiting their space colony. Kind of be like, I don't remember the reason why she was, but she was. And then the Titans, or whatever the equivalent of the Titans is in this parallel universe, showing up with the Psycho Gundam, trying to assassinate her.
Yeah, yeah. You got Deuce Murasame piloting the new Psycho Gundam. You got Basco making another cameo. Real glove shido moments.
There's a real, yeah, I don't know who any of those people are, but yeah, and in that chaos, the group gets split up. Shuji, I think, just kind of disappears, like literally, like fades.
Yeah, Shuji just seems to Zek Nova and go back to his. Who knows? Who knows where he went?
Who knows? He went somewhere. Opacity slider on his model set to 0. Just whoop. Nian is taken in by the Xeon military and Cassilia, while Mash goes with Shalia Bull on his sort of ship slash group, because there's definitely like background politics going on where it's like Shalia Bull, who was Shara's friend back in the day, he's against Cassilia and sort of taking the place of Shara, but like not nearly as like aggressive. Like he's not out there like walking down the zombies like Shara was. He's just more there like cloak and dagger, you know.
Yeah.
But sort of splits the party up, and Mash, uh, she is sort of she wants to go to Earth because that was kind of her whole thing. Is she wanted to go to Earth, and now
Wants to see the sea.
yeah,
And
wants
wants
to see
to
the
be a
sea.
jellyfish.
And now I believe I don't remember the exact reason, but she was sort of being pulled there for the Rose of Sharon, and Shalia Bull was like using her in a way to like go and find the Rose of Sharon using the GQuuuuuX, like organizing her escape in a way to chase after her to see where she goes. Is that correct?
Uh,
Well, because why did she leave Shalia Bull's ship?
I'm looking it up right now.
Anyway, she does leave Shalia Bull's ship and goes to find the Rose of Sharon on Earth. In the process of using the GQuuuuuX's core fighter, she crashes and is rescued by or like taken in by like what's the
A
word I'm looking?
brothel.
A brothel. I was gonna say a whorehouse, and I'm like, maybe I could make that a kinder name. Take it into a brothel, and that's where she meets Lala in this universe. And Lala, she is not having a great time. She's it's not going particularly well for her in this universe. We come to find out that she, because like we watched Gundam Origin, and it was like sort of her backstory. We're not super into the original show. I know. I'm sorry.
I actually just finished reading Gundam: The Origin.
Yes, but that's not the
It's pretty
original
good.
show. It's slightly different. But that being
Slightly
said,
different.
we know that, or at least it's assumed that it's a very similar background in the original show as in Origin, where she was in servitude, and Shaw eventually gets her out of servitude before the events of Universal Century. But in this timeline,
Yeah,
she is still in
specifically
servitude.
specifically when she meets up with Machu, uh, she shares the visions of falling in love with a Xeon officer that wears a red uniform, and then also her visions of him dying at a Federation soldier piloting a white mobile suit,
Yes, that's like a recurring dream of hers. But we eventually,
who she also loved.
yes, which is interesting. I didn't know that. But we eventually find the Rose of Sharon, which is the mobile armor that Lala piloted in the Universal Century, the real quote unquote Universal Century. And we come to find out that she has been using this weird new type power to literally jump between universes and create splintering parallel universes. And we find out that
Yeah, and
in
there,
this one, the big thing is that she and Sharo never met.
yeah, and there's like a little slideshow of, oh, this is the universe where Char gets in a goof and pilots a red goof. This is the one where he gets in a Zaku and has a big Zam and he pilots a big red Zam.
Oh yeah, yeah. But we
And then
basically
there's also the one from Igloos in there too.
that's funny. But yeah, so we kind of find out that this universe, this parallel universe, which you already knew is a parallel universe of Universal Century, is caused because Lala basically jumped between universes, created this one, and created this one in a timeline where she can keep Shaw alive by not ever meeting Shaw. And then we also
And
find.
that
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and that ends up in turn making we kind of pseudo headcanon this as Lala never meets with Shar, where then that means that Shar is more focused on his mining operation work, which in turn means more supplies for Xeon, which in turn means more supplies available to repair mobile suits, which in turn means that Shar Zaku would be fixed, matching up with the events of the original Gundam. So because the big switch between the original Gundam and this one is that Char gets in the Gundam and he doesn't go to the colony in the original Gundam because his mobile suit is damaged.
Yes. We also kind of, I headcanoned that it's because he doesn't meet Lala, he spends more time mining and less time testing the mobile suit, like the Zaku, which was in
Yeah.
Origin. So somehow him not testing the Zaku makes the Zaku perform better and therefore does not break down when mass produced nearly as often.
Yeah.
That's also possible. But and it's sort of in this event, Nian with Cassilia is sort of being like, I was gonna say the word groomed, but I meant more like not in a sexual way, in like you're a crazy new type, Nian. That's pretty cool. Hey, why don't I show you your new Gundam, the Gundam G, Fred? Uh, which also has a really cool scene where she's with the G-Fred and there's some goober who's like, okay, I'm trying to stop Cassilia and I need to stop you, so I'm going to try and attack you, Nian, and the G-Fred's funnels just pop off and literally vaporize him where he stands, reducing him to atoms. Oop.
Reducing him to just yellow sludge for like half a frame.
Yeah, the G-Fed. There's the picture. I forgot to have my pictures, and my medias. And
Hey
Cassilia,
Barney, what Gundam are you gonna what Gundam model kit are you gonna build?
G-Fed.
G-Fred, I don't know.
But the reason why Cassilia is giving the G-Fed to Nian and having her learn to pilot it as a big-time new type is that there is a big doodad that I wonder if I wrote the name down. I put it down as the Zeknova machine, which it kind of is. But it's basically a way for the Xeon to, with the help of a new type and the implementation of the Rose of Sharon inside of it, if I remember correctly. Because again, even though we watched it recently, we've also been watching a lot of Gundams, so shit is kind of lit, you know.
Yeah.
But using the Rose of Sharon as like a catalyst, the Zeknova machine can be brought online, and Cassilia wants to use Nian and the big Zeknova machine to basically strong arm her control over Xeon. You know, very classic Cassilia thing.
Yeah, and then to turn the Yamagatho, that's what it's called. She wants to use that on the Earth, and basically like how Char wants to, in Char's counterattack, drop a big asteroid on the Earth.
Yeah, she wants to use the Zeknova machine on it, which I think seems a little excessive, TBH, but, you know, whatever. Nian uses it in a test fire, killing a lot of people on the moon.
A lot of
A
people.
lot of people on the moon of Gyuenzabi's forces, because Gyuenzabi, we meet briefly, and then he is immediately assassinated by Cassilia.
He got his 3 minutes of screen time.
Sometimes that's all you need. Gyuenzabi shows up, dies to poison. Cassilia uses the Zeknova machine to finish off the last of his loyalist forces, or at least a good majority of them. We also meet, there is a character in the Zeknova machine, as in like a technician or whatever, a fancy blonde-haired lad, and it is Shao himself. That's where he's been. He's been building the Zeknova machine. Why is he
That's
building?
him! That's him! That's my favorite white boy!
Yeah, there he is. And he gets his magical girl transformation. As a wave of Zeknova energy gives him his classic Shao uniform.
There was actually a tweet that one of the directors made, was like, well, we wanted to make sure we wanted to put Char in his original costume for this scene, but we really didn't want to just have a scene of him going to go get dressed for it, so it kind of take away from the stakes.
Fair, you know what? Fair enough. I can appreciate that. Excuse me. But Shao has been working on the Zeknova machine, not to destroy the Earth, surprisingly. Well, at least probably not like the main goal. The main goal was seemingly to send Lala and the Rose of Sharon, which is, again, the Rose of Sharon is the mobile armor thing that's been jumping across universes with Lala in it. Not to be confused with
the Man 08 Elmeth.
Yes, not to be confused with the Lala that is at the brothel. Because, I mean, while they're both Lala, the one at the brothel is not piloting the mobile armor or traveling universes. She's just this universe's Lala.
There's like a time dimension that's separating the inside of the machine, and it's kind of assumed that Lala's soul is inside the mobile armor.
New type bullshit. Anyway. But yes, Shao is trying to send Lala back. And that's when Shuji comes back. And we find that Shuji is from another universe and has crossed into this one because his universe is falling apart due to quote-unquote new type bullshit. And so his plan is to not send Lala back, but instead to just kill her right here and right now so that his universe is preserved. But that means Masu's universe collapses. Correct? I believe.
Correct, yes.
Correct, yes, okay. And then we get the big fight where Masu, Nian, all the warriors are there, and they go, all fighting for their own things. Shalia Bull's there too, and he's like, "Sure, I love you, my white boy, but however, you cannot lead Zeon."
I have seen Char's counterattack. I cannot let you win.
Sure, you cannot lead Zeon. So we get a big fight with Shalia Bull against Shah and their nonsense. Shah assassinating Cassilia via a throwback to when he does it in Universal Century. While I'm not super knowledgeable on the original series, I of course have seen the clip of him gunning down.
Is that
Cassilia.
Char?
Yeah. Killing Cassilia, fighting Shalia Bull. There was the other goober there in his Gyan, which the Gyan was cool. And he was like, "Man, I love Cassilia. She's my favorite warlord." And he gets beaten in his Gyan fighting Shalia as well. But we got Nian and Masu teaming up against Shuji, and Shuji whips out the 1/60th scale RX-78 Gigantamax Grandpa Gundam. And they got a big fight, and they activate the final level of the Omega Psychommu. How is it pronounced? Psychommu?
Psychommu, yeah.
Psychommu.
Or you can just say like Psychom unit.
Yeah. But the GQuuuuuuX enters its final phase, and it opens its mouth, which is a hard thing to explain to people why it's so cool. But, like, I get it, Hideki Ono. I knew what you were going with, though.
It's so cool.
Shuji's defeated, and Lala in the ship wakes up and is like, "Dang, I guess everything's good now." Shuji goes back
I
to his
guess I need to
universe.
go.
Oh, right. It's
Yeah.
because of the fact Lala is in their universe that Shuji's is falling apart, right?
Yes.
So Lala's like, "Okay, I guess I'll leave. Even though this is the universe where Shao is protected, but I can't ever meet him because that's literally the catalyst of why he dies. So I guess I will just leave knowing that he will be alive and happy." Which he is. Him and Shalia, both alive and both kind of rectify whatever's going on, and we get a nice little end scene where it's like everything worked out in the end because I always forget Shao's sister's name.
Sayla,
Yes.
is still alive, and she ends up becoming the new ruler of Zeon.
But more
Together with
importantly,
Ramba Rule by her side.
More importantly, Von Baval's alive, and we see him for a split second at the very end.
And he makes it past 35 years old.
Good for him. And yeah, that's kind of just where it ends. Because the main crew is Nian and Mashu are like, "We're gonna go and we're gonna find Shuji one day." Somehow.
And then there's also the scene that shows Lala. It shows Char showing up in the village that Lala's at. So those two have their happily ever after. Shalia decides to go off with Sayla and help her build up Zeon again.
And yeah,
then also it's been shown that the ending theme song, like the ending for the show, that takes place after everything.
Okay. So yeah, basically.
So that's technically the ending. Is them dancing in that room on Earth.
Oh, sick! Good. It's canon. Let's go.
It's a bop.
It is a bop. I'm not particular. While I do watch the occasional VTuber clips and stuff like that, and and as a VTuber myself, but I more watch like streams of like smaller VTubers rather than big ones. I'm not super familiar with Suisei's music, but I liked it. I like the song, and I like the other songs in it.
I can't stop listening to it.
Can't stop listening to it. Won't stop listening to it. But yeah, I mean that's like the recap. But as far as like, did I like it? My answer is
What did you
yes.
like about it?
So I love the mech designs. Mech designs were fantastic, obviously. Visuals, fantastic. Character designs, fantastic. Visually, just like everything visually, fantastic. Story is complex and dense, but not overly complex to where it's like I couldn't figure out what was going on. It's just dense. Like it's like a lot. Like they have a list of things they wanted to do, and then they're like, "Oh, dang, we're 12 episodes. Okay, I guess we'll just condense it as much as possible." And it's like I definitely wish it had more time to breathe and get up to speed rather than just switching into like the eighth gear immediately. Because it was
That's what
like
that's what it
episode
seems to
five.
be.
Because when did the Psycho
That
Gundam show up? Which was like the catalyst of like actual shit happening in the show.
it showed up in episode 6.
So literally halfway through the show, we went from hey, we're fighting the clan battles to multiverse conclusion, uh, Xeon politics. In 6 episodes, we got Xeon high office politics, multiverse, more stuff tying into Universal Century, and more new type bullshit. You know what I mean? Like that's like 6 episodes of all that.
Yeah, there's definitely not that much room to breathe, which seems to be like the general consensus online is this is great, but man, do I wish this was like 24 episodes.
Yeah, I would have liked even more stuff
And
with
even
Clan
the
Battle.
director and the director has said that like they were originally planned for Machu to meet a married couple, which there were a couple suggestions thrown out, like Rambaral and his wife, or Kai and a girl he gets with quotes in the original Gundam, which that would have been a cool cameo.
That would have been cool. Yeah, like honestly, 24 episodes would have been perfect because you could do 12 of Clan Battle, have a bunch of fun cameos, and then start getting real in the second half. I feel like 12 episodes would have been enough to kind of ease into the multiverse stuff, or even and maybe even ease into some of the high politics stuff. Because there is someone I know who this was their first Gundam. Uh, Shout out to you, Cass. I'm so sorry. This is not a great one to start with. But it is. I've been talking to you about this feeling where it's like there's a feeling that I enjoy having, and it's not. It's a little bit separated from the media that I watch. So it's like I enjoy the feeling. It doesn't necessarily mean the media itself is good, which I do think this is good, but and it's the feeling of did I like that? Question mark. Instead of immediately going, "Oh yeah, this was awesome. Oh yeah, this was trash." It's like, "Huh, let me digest this a bit." And GQuuuuuX is definitely that for me, where it's just like, let me sit and think about this one.
Oh yeah,
What about
because
you?
the ending is a little abrupt.
Yes, it is. It's very fast. Of like, and they solved, and everything's good now.
But yeah, I really like the mecha design. The mecha design in this is top tier. All the action in it was. There is not a moment in the action where I'm like, that could have used a little work. You know, it's always like always firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how the team has been able to work in these very like Pokemon character looking designs into the Gundam origin original designs, and it works so well.
Oh yeah, the character
I don't know
design's
how they do it, but it
fantastic.
works so well.
And there's so great use of colors among characters, like Mashu's. We keep calling her Mashu because that's usually what she goes by. I completely forgot her name was uh, Amate. But like her
Yeah.
like colors of like red hair with like green like reflection on it is so interesting. Yeah.
Also, Also, man, watching this in with a weekly release schedule and not all at once, great. I loved watching this along with the community. It was
There's
great.
there were some great memes for sure. It's Mosh Tuesday in it, right? Like
A Tuesday, isn't it?
Tuesday, isn't it? I'm gonna miss those.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss those. Also, with when Shuji showed up in the Gundam, the Grandpa Gundam, and at the end of episode 11, everyone just took online to coming through the portal. It's Turn A Gundam. It's Orga from Iron Blooded Orphans. It's so and so from this thing. I even saw an Ace Combat one.
That's funny. Yeah, just like the memes were great, and that moment specifically was like the best like setup to the end, like meme material. And again, I don't
Yeah,
dislike the story by any means. I just wish there was like, I think it isn't that like a good compliment you can give something of like your biggest criticism is like, man, I wish there was more of it.
yeah. That's a pretty good sentiment to have
As far
for
as
your work.
criticism goes, my biggest one is in a way a compliment of I wish there was more.
Also, it when Machu goes into the final mode with the GQuuuuuX, some like ghost hands come down on top of hers, and it's supposedly Amuro Ray from Char's counterattack is apparently in the GQuuuuuX. And also the system that they called out and said, oh, it's the whatever system. I can't remember what it's called at the moment. But when they activate that, uh, that spelled out is able to fit in the GQuuuuuX queue through the name.
Oh,
And also, if you take Amuro Ray and put it in there with no space, it takes up the same amount. So
oh. Yeah,
this is Gundam Amuro with Amuro Ray.
yeah. It looks like him. I can see it. I actually another thing mech design, the GQuuuuuX design, which when it first had it's like just standing there, reveal. I think it looks really good in action, and it's got some cool stuff
Oh,
that
it looks
pops out of
amazing
it
in action.
that makes it look unique and cool. I really like it. Really like the core fighter design too. Um, the like jetpack pops out the back. It looked great. Love it. It's actually the design itself might be up there for me because I mean, not to be like an Ava shill, but like as an Ava shill, it looks like an Ava, and therefore I clapped when I saw it.
It's got the Ava slouch,
It does. Oh yeah, it's got that slouch.
which works amazing for shots when it's like Char recreating the salute bazooka headshot with the mobile suit.
Yeah.
Which, man, I can't wait for some of those. Some of those kits are going to be really cool when they come out with the master grade version of them.
Oh, absolutely. They are very complex designs, and I really like them. Even like the ones like the Gian and the Zaku and the Dom, which are all like slightly different versions in this universe. They all look fantastic. Especially the Dom with the funny three legs. I love that. That's so cool and unique.
Oh yeah,
But oh, and the thing Shalia Bull flew, the mobile armor thing, whatever that thing
the
was called,
Man 02, I believe.
something like that.
Man 02 Gundam.
The man. Uh, that
Oh,
thing was super cool. Like at first it was just like, oh, it's some mobile armor thing, and then it opens up and there's like a little robot man inside of it.
that's so cool.
And it's like, yo, all his arms and legs pop off because they're not quite funnels. They're like the uh,
Cable funnels.
yeah, the Xeon hands where it's like on a tether.
Yeah.
So cool. Love that. Yeah, mech design's fantastic. Story pretty good. Wish there was more of it to just pace it a little bit better. Character design's fantastic. Visually impeccable. Performances great. Dub coming out like simultaneously, fantastic. Love that.
And the dub was also pretty good.
Yeah. Shao's new voice actor, is he English new as well, or is it just Japanese?
Yeah, it's new.
Okay,
His English voice is also new.
yeah, he's very good. And really, my only complaints are just 12 episodes, which I guess, as far as complaints go, not too bad.
I mean, you could always have worse. You could always have,
Darling in the Franxx.
oh, the last episode was just kind of a slideshow.
Could you imagine that, Gundam fans, if the show you were watching, the last episode was just a slideshow? Wouldn't that be something? And then it all ends with all the characters around Mashu clapping and going, "Congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations."
Machu never killed anyone.
Unlike Nian. Nian killed a lot of people.
Nan killed a lot of people.
She killed people even before Cassilia.
Oh yeah.
Hey, it's what happens when you're an Uber driver, you know? It just fucking... the thirst
Also,
for
the
blood.
GOG shows up. The GOG shows up in episode 7. Shout out to the GOG.
Shout out to the GOG, yeah.
They even said like, we need something for this, and one of the directors spoke up and was like, we got to put the GOG in there. The GOG would be so easy to put in there because you don't even have to animate the legs.
That's true. All right, any final
And also,
thoughts? Oh, go ahead.
Also, the Zoc, space Zoc. There's a space variation of the Zoc.
There was a space variation of the Zoc. I forgot about that.
It's just that it's right there at the very end, but it's like, hey, there it is.
There's the Zoc.
There it is. Anyway, bye.
It doesn't even do anything, does it? It's just like there. Like,
No,
just in the
yeah,
background?
it's just there. It's just there in the hangar.
I do like, in a weird way, that if Lala never met Shar, like, the world just kind of becomes better. Because, like, Sayla in charge of Xeon is pretty good. I mean, sure, I guess you have, like, the many years of Cassilia and Giran in charge of Xeon, which isn't great.
But Sayla should be able to figure it all out.
Yeah, you know, at the end, it'll all be fantastic. Surely. This time, Space Noids and Earthlings will get along forever. Maybe we'll go to Jupiter one
By the way,
day.
the Tetons are still alive. By the way, so
Yeah, but
they're still around.
They're more like a terrorist cell, I guess.
Not yeah, they're still around. But, you know, whatever.
Any final thoughts?
Just wish it was longer.
Just
Wish it was longer.
Yeah. Wish it was longer. Yeah, pace, be a little bit better paced that way. Because, like, it's a lofty A to B when it comes to 12 episodes, you know?
Doesn't even have to go to 20. Just like 15 would be great.
Probably could use 20.
It could use 20. It could use. Listen, if you were to tell me that they were to come out with one more episode, I'd be like, that's fine.
Hey, an OVA?
It's more. That's all I want.
I'd watch an OVA. Speaking of OVAs, no, the next thing we're recording isn't an OVA. And
Actually,
also, it doesn't matter because I release these whenever I feel like it, so.
Yeah.
Maybe it's an OVA. Maybe it's not. I don't know.
All right. So.
Is this recording so? Or...
Crab or Haro? Call it.
Oh, Crab or Haro? Call it. Crab. I enjoy the Crab.
The Crab was so cool.
Crab's
I
great.
love the little guy.
Little guy.
And the ending song when he's got the shutter shade sunglasses on, he's just like vibing.
Excellent Gundam, just for that. All right, that's the last thing. I'm closing it out. Or am I?